combs, combs on combs on combs on combs. Sanbanani Dumelang, hello, my name is Malwande and welcome to my channel. This is episode 4 of the new BRAIDER Must-HAVES series, and in this episode we will be discussing all the tools that you will need. I want to start off by giving you context into the type of hairstylist I was so you can understand why I had the tools I had. My business in particular was based on being a house call hairstylist. I wanted my clients to get their hair done in the comfort of their own home. Sometimes it was not their own home, it was my home, but essentially a home environment, because I regard a home environment as being safe, secure, comfortable. You can have your pajamas, you can be working while I do your hair, you can be attending to your kids while I do your hair, and that is why my list of tools to most may come across as very long and extensive, but if that is not the service you'll be providing, then you can just take and subtract based on what you need. Now that you have that, let's get into it. This is my hair tools bag. This is literally the bag that has a lot of the stuff that I use for braiding. So I don't do hair full time anymore, I do my own hair. So these are still tools that I use even on myself. Rat tail comb 1 for parting with the sharp end, and rat tail comb 2 for parting with this pointy top, which is so handy when you're parting for cornrows, especially when you need clean, crisp, perfect lines. This comb comes in handy. Next is a wide tooth comb for detangling. These are sectioning clips. You might have seen my videos, I use them on my natural hair too. They are just for sectioning hair. This is the smaller sectioning clip. This one works really well once you have parted a line and you just need other blocks in the line to be kept to the side, because it holds a very small amount of hair. But yeah, it does the job. One thing about these clips, they will break. This is the only one I have left. I used to have a set of 5 or 6. This is the only surviving one now. They break, you lose them in clients' homes, you forget them, they fall under the couch. So this is one of the things that you will probably constantly need to replace, but it is a must-have. Crochet hook. This is for, you know, your Afro puff styles, all crochet styles. A must-have as well. If that is a service you will be offering, crochet hairstyles, you need this girl. Professional hair shears. This is because I used to offer the service of hair trimming, as I was primarily dealing with natural hair. So a lot of my clients, I would tell them that, hey, you need a trim, and then the next time they would ask me to give them a trim. So I invested in professional hair shears. These are not cheap, but they are so essential if you're going to provide a service. And I have this tool. Mine is honestly rusted at this point. I am so ashamed to even show you the front. Yeah, it has not been used in that long, but I used to use it like this, snap it on to my wrist, put on my hair gel here, and I'm free to braid and use gel on my clients who preferred hair gel. More clips, lighters, hair lighters for hairstyles like your bobs where you need to burn the ends, your fringes where you need to burn the ends. That's why I have 2 of them, because I needed them to never fail me. Hair beaders. A lot of the time if I was braiding children, beads were involved, but even with adults, beads are involved. So I use this. It is so convenient, so easy to insert the beads onto braids without all the extra hassle. Love these. That is all that's in that bag. Then I have this other bag, which was basically my backup bag or my additional supplies. This is it. Honestly, I haven't opened this in more than a year because I haven't been braiding full-time in more than a year. So we're going to check together what's actually in here. We have another wide tooth comb, more combs, an Afro comb. Then I have a whole bunch of these tiny colorful hair ties that I would collect. I was honestly getting them from hair packets. Whenever you buy hair fiber, they always come with these on the ends. So I would just keep them. I would give them to my kid clients, or, you know, sometimes I'd use them for sectioning too if I happen to forget my clips at home. But yeah, these. More combs. Combs on combs on combs on combs. another comb. So let's actually talk about these types of rat tail combs. This is not a comb I would recommend for a braiding service. This is a good comb if you're just DIYing or whatever, because it's like the cheapest thing you can find on the streets. But the parting that it gives you is not precise. These two can never do a better job than this one. Look at the difference. Old toothbrushes, and no, not for brushing your client's teeth. These I would use for edges. Just for laying edges. I'm not the biggest fan of extravagant edge laying, but sometimes a client wants the edges laid because they want to take pictures immediately, or they want to see how the style would look with the edges. Some clients would ask me to just teach them how to do a quick pushback of their edges, especially the ones who had thicker edges. So that's why I had these. And I have a backup crochet hook. Now let's go into the styling tools. It's compact hair dryer. Mine is from Clicks, but I'm sure there are other brands who sell compact hair dryers. This is perfect because it is so small that you can just easily travel with it if you are traveling. But obviously, if you are doing a service from a stationary place, then it is advisable that you get the professional hair dryers. I have one too, but I would honestly always leave it at home. It's just too big to carry. So this was good enough. It has that end part as well, but mine has now, it's gone missing. I've lost it. On that note, you need a good heat protection serum. And I'm assuming that you've now watched the previous episode, right? And you've gone and done your research about hair types and which hair type you're going to stick to. So you're going to use heat based on that knowledge and also based on prioritizing your client's needs, like we've discussed. Next are flexi rods. I don't know why I'm singing, but you need flexi rods if you will be providing services like goddess braids, curly braids, whatever. You're gonna need these. I have 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. Each size gives you a different type of curl that was dependent on the client, what they wanted. Then I have these curling rods. There's this one which has the squishy part here. This is sponge in the middle. From what I remember, these used to give quite a tight curl. And you curl the hair here, then you just snap that into place. Voila. These, they do a similar thing, but this curl doesn't come out as tight as the yellow spongy one. Do you notice how everything that I have has its place? That is quite an important thing, because this is how you prevent yourself from rebuying something you already have. But 2, you just keep your things organized. It's just part of looking after yourself, looking after the service you provide, and looking after the things that are owned by your braiding service and keeping them in as good condition as possible. Everything has its place. Now onto gel. I used to use the gel by Styling Dreads. Mine is finished now and I don't even have the container, but this is what it looked like. Another alternative is this one by My Natural Hair. It is a styling edge gel. I know it says edge gel, but you can use it to lay hair as well, and you can use it for the clients that want gel on their braids. Not saying I'm for or against gel. Personally, I am against, but honestly, as a braider, I did whatever the client wanted, unless if I felt it was a danger to their hair. Otherwise, I would just do whatever they want. Black hair wool is necessary for hairstyles like your updos, so consider adding that, as well as this black hairbrush, which is perfect for sleeking down hair. Then, of course, I don't even think I should mention this, but I will mention it: a pair of scissors. You literally need scissors because you will be working with hair fiber. What are you going to cut it with? You need scissors. This is also one of those items that you will continuously be replacing. I can't tell you how many scissors I've left or forgotten at people's houses. So I stopped investing in the expensive scissors. Now, another thing, you need a good sanitizer for yourself. After you've been touching hair fiber, you've been touching doors and windows and stuff that you know are not great. You want to get your hands clean before you touch someone's hair. Ideally, yes, just go to the bathroom and wash your hands, but that's not always a possibility because of time and other things, you know. So make sure you have a good hand sanitizer, and this goes along with having a good hand cream, because afterwards You need to look after the hands that are bringing you in the coin. Now, I know I might have just bombarded you with so many tools, so much, and you're probably thinking, wow, that looks like an impossible list. Let me break it down that I started with a very smaller kit than this, and like I said in the beginning, this kit that you're going to be putting together is dependent on the types of services that you are offering, the service that you are prioritizing. So if you're unsure, please feel free to drop me a comment and I'll tell you that, okay, no, that thing I mentioned there, forget about it, you actually don't need it if this is what you're doing, or I'll tell you other add-ons that you might need. Let's keep that discussion going because I am here to help you. I also had a braiding rack. I started off with the braiding rack because one thing that was very big for me in the service I was providing, which kept my clients in particular coming back, was the fact that they never had to touch any hair fiber. So I had my own thing that I would get to their house and set up, and I would ask them for 30 minutes while they go and make themselves coffee or attend to their kids or whatever. I would be preparing the hair. I would be cutting it. If I didn't buy the hair the day before, I would be cutting it on that day. Or if the client bought their own hair, I would be prepping it in that 30 minutes, set up my rack, set up all my tools, take them out, dust everything, make sure I'm good with the spot I've chosen, and then I would go ahead and prepare my hair and put it on the rack, and my client has their hands free to live their best lives like the good client that they are, you know. But obviously, if that is not what you are doing, then you don't need a hair rack. You can just do without. I also have created a video about a method that I learned how to lay hair without a braiding rack, actually, because times are changing. You'll see it here, and I'll also link it in the description box below. Now, about cleanliness and hygiene, please wash your tools. Please wash them. Wash them in water and soap. And this leads me into the point of collecting multiple types of tools. As you saw, I have like a whole lot of combs, and the reason for that is that if I had a client today, I don't want to have to get home after my feet are tired, my hands are exhausted, and think about washing a comb and hoping and praying it's going to be dry the following day. What if it isn't and I have a client the next day? So that is why I would have 3 or 4 combs, and I'd alternate. When I have an off day, that would be the day that I wash all my tools, wash my hand towels, just wash everything that has to do with hair, because bacteria is transferable, and you know, you just don't want to be that stylist who is responsible for your client getting some infection on their scalp or a rash on their skin. Just be clear. The same as you wash your makeup brushes, wash your hair tools. Now we're going to talk about items that are really nice to have. You don't need them, but they're really nice to have, and you can consider putting them on your list of wants and save towards them. First one is a hair spritz bottle. I know mine has been through a lot because I've had it for 5 years. But a hair spritz bottle really helps when you have clients who are tender-headed. You can just spritz a little bit of water, and the amount of water that comes out here is not enough to drench the hair with water, which is why a hair spritz bottle is the one. A hair chair is a really nice to have too. I'll put a picture here. Yeah, especially if you are doing hair house calls. If you're stationary, then I mean, obviously you'll just have the chair that your client will sit on. But if you are a house call hairstylist, or you are moving around, you know, you're going to different places, yeah, investing in a hair chair is really nice. In the beginning, I'd find that I'd get to some clients' houses or people's houses, and they actually don't have an additional stool or something. All they have is a dining chair, and dining chairs, the back comes up to here. It's uncomfortable for me. Or they have a chair that is way too low and I'm bending over and my back is hurting. So it's just so much better if you invest in a traveling hair chair, one of those foldable ones, and then you can just avoid all of that stuff because you come with your own chair and you are good to go. Another one is an apron for yourself. You know, it would just be nice if you're able to protect your clothes, especially if you're doing like a hairstyle where you'll be using hair products and all of that. Having a hair apron is just a really nice thing. It also makes you look like you have your life together. It's not a need, but it's really nice to have. That marks the end of this video. Thank you so much if you have watched until the end. Let me know what you think of it down below, and I will catch you in my next one.